Howdy folks, and good morning. Welcome back to Boondockery. I'm off on a little wild camp this weekend, and while I'm out I'm going to be filming a few different videos, and one of which is going to focus on some items I was able to pick up at the Central Ohio Bushcraft Gathering in October. I had an opportunity to visit Wendel Adams, the Primitive Wanderer, which if you've not checked out his YouTube channel, definitely do that. He got some great stuff on there. Well, as I was talking with Wendel, I noticed he had some interesting looking meals, camping chow. And I asked him about it, and he happens to be an affiliate for Special Ops Grade High Nutrient Foods. Well, he was giving away free samples. You know, I'm going to take advantage of a free sample. But I was able to pick up one of each of the items he had. And so what I decided to do this weekend is I'm going to use what I picked up exclusively for my meals this weekend. And so I hope they're pretty good. But what we're going to do is I'm going to go ahead and lay it all out so you can see what I picked up if you didn't happen to see my video on my Central Ohio Bushcraft Gathering loot. And so you can see what I have to choose from. And then I'm going to prepare breakfast because I am starving. And keep your eyes open in the background for the next couple of videos I'm posting, because the bucks are in a mood for love. And apparently they don't care one iota that I'm here. Our gun season is coming up in about a week. And so they're getting all the loving that they can possibly squeeze in before then. But they've been moving around fairly close, within about 25-30 yards, and they could care less if I'm here whatsoever. They got their nose to the ground or nose to the air. They're looking for the ladies. I'm going to go ahead and lay those things out so you can see them, and then we'll get started making breakfast. Now, these are the meals and beverages that I picked up from Wendel as free samples at the Bushcraft Gathering. Wendel is an affiliate, so I'm certain you can find one of his videos on this to where you can get a promotional code to be able to get a discount on these items. I'll also be providing a link in the description box for their website, and if I happen to see the video that Wendel is promoting these meals with, I'll make sure I put a link for that in the description box as well. But we're starting down here with breakfast. We have hearty apple cinnamon oatmeal, home-style scramble. Then for lunch or supper, we have triple cheese mac, hearty lasagna, and Southwest medley. And as far as beverages go, we have vitamin coffee, we have an electrolyte, and we have a creamy chocolate shake. Now, with as cold as it's been, this very easily could be a real milkshake, depending on when I actually get around to preparing it. I think I'm going to go ahead and start off with home-style scramble. Now, unlike freeze-dried meals like you get from Mountain House or Schwartz Food, someplace like that, these take some preparation. It's not a matter of tearing open the bag and pouring in hot water. And for this particular one, you pour the home-style scramble into a bowl and add 1/2 cup of boiling water. Stir, cover, and let stand 4 to 5 minutes. Stir again and dig in. Couple things about this. This requires 1/2 cup. This is a fairly small amount of food. The reason that these were designed is so that you don't overstuff yourself while you're trying to get your calories in. The reason that they can get away with this in such small amounts is the amount of nutrients that they put in these things. Now, I'm going to put this up to the camera, and you can push pause so you can see everything that they add to this. Try to get this to where it zooms in and focuses. They cram pack as much nutrients and nutrition in these little pouches as you possibly can. The other freeze-dried meal companies, they have fantastic flavor for the most part. They have a lot of calories, which is very important when you're exerting yourself in the wilderness. And you're really looking at fats, proteins, carbohydrates. Those are the big things that are really being pushed in these meals. But as far as nutrients go, they're really lacking. As a matter of fact, on Special Ops Grade website, they do a comparison between a Mountain House meal and a comparable meal that they produce, and they show the number of nutrients that both have in it. And if you see that diagram, I think you'll be amazed, because when you're buying those meals, you're getting filler food. And I'm telling you, a lot of those filler food meals, I mean, they taste great. They're really satisfying. They feel really good, especially on a cold morning like today. But these, small amount of food, don't fill you up, and a tremendous amount of nutrition. Okay, I got everything set up. Now I'm going to use my Esbit rectangular cook set with my perlite stove, just simply because I like it. And matter of fact, that perlite stove is about my favorite stove right now. I use it all the time. Now I'm going to get that thing started. Now I've also decided I'm going to try the vitamin coffee as well. Now don't worry, I'm not going to be showing you the cooking process through all of these meals. This will be the only time you have to watch it. Okay, we'll get that going. Now, I'm going to see if those scrambled eggs will actually fit in the large bowl from my Will Do Camp set. Oh my gosh, it is so cold. I might break these. My gosh. Wow. Okay, that should be sufficient. If it won't fit in there, then I'll have to use the regular container. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is, once I add the water, I'm actually going to put that inside my freeze-dried meal koozie so it won't get cold. Okay, we have come to a boil. Let's see. That's a little much. Okay. Half the cup. Might be a little extra in there. Now this is freeze-dried, so it should reconstitute much better than dehydrated. Now every once in a while I'll get a freeze-dried meal to where a little bit of it hides down in the corners and doesn't reconstitute, so I get a crunchy surpriser toward the end. So I usually go a little overboard as far as the stirring goes. Now we're going to go ahead and slide this into my freeze-dried meal koozie. And batten those hatches down. And we're going to let that sit for 5 minutes. But in the meanwhile, In the meanwhile, I will go ahead and make myself a cup of the vitamin coffee. Now this calls for 1 cup, 8 ounces, which I should have 8 ounces left. And I like a strong cup, so I will probably go just a little under 8. There we go. Have a nice cup of joe with my breakfast. Well, it's been 5 minutes. I'm going to try the coffee first. It's pretty good coffee. It's a medium roast. Pretty decent flavor. Yeah, I've had a whole lot worse instant coffees. That's actually pretty dang good. As far as like a comparison, I have some of the Starbucks powdered stuff. People usually give it to me as gifts. I mean, I think they over roast their beans, and so I guess that's the pinnacle of instant coffee. But compared to, let's say, Folgers, Maxwell House, those types of instant coffees, this is a whole lot better than that. Oh yeah, I could definitely pick some more of that up. Now, very carefully remove my scrambled eggs. Now, the one thing with having to use your own containers, especially this time of year, you're going to have some type of insulated containers, or like a freeze-dried meal koozie, something like that, because with as cold as it is today, this right here, I mean, it would not have been able to do what it needs to do with reconstitution and being able to stay hot, in addition to actually the water absorption into the food. It looks sort of porridge-like, but I might have put just a little bit too much water in it, which, you know, that doesn't bother me at all. A lot of vegetables in here. That's good. That's very good. Actually, I kind of like it porridge-like. Oh yeah, that's excellent. The one big downside to all of these is that you do have to clean up your dishes when you're done. Not that big of a deal, but when you have self-contained pouches, you know, you zip them up, you put them back in your pack. You don't have to mess with them anymore. Yeah, it's not hot anymore. It's warm. And that's even with the Reflectix koozie I put it in. It's definitely eatable, but it's not piping hot like you'd expect it to be with boiling water. Yeah, I'm probably going to have to eat this fairly quick, not having an insulated container. I'm going to go ahead and get this down my gullet, and I'll be back. That was very tasty. I probably put a little bit too much water in it, made it a little more porridge-like. However, I think it helped with the cleanup. Just a quick rinse, wiped it out with a napkin, and perfect. It may have all those nutrients in it. It may be everything that I need, but I'm still hungry. So I'm going to go ahead and prepare the hearty apple cinnamon oatmeal. So it's sort of more or less like a dessert for my breakfast. Yeah, before I taste my oatmeal, tell you a little something about the coffee. I've already had 2 cups of coffee this morning, and usually I'm up for a third, no problem whatsoever. The average cup of coffee has between 80 and 100 milligrams of caffeine. This vitamin coffee has 125 milligrams of caffeine, and let me tell you what, brothers and sisters, I'm feeling it. Ooh. I definitely need some food to balance out that sort of buzzy feel I've got. Wow. Should have looked at that before I drank it. Yeah. Well, the consistency is absolutely perfect. Got the water right. That's just good oatmeal. The apples, they actually crunch like they were freshly diced up before they were put in here. So they were probably freeze-dried raw, not cooked. Oh, that's good. The thing I like the most about this, it's not overly sweet. About the only sweetness you're getting out of this is from the apples. That's one big criticism I have about most oatmeal that you purchase, the instant oatmeal and stuff. There's a ton of sugar in there. And yeah, this is excellent. Okay, 2 for 2. And like I said, I guess I'm just used to eating more, even though I know that all those nutrients and stuff is pretty much what I need. But I was still hungry, and this is great breakfast dessert. Well, folks, it's time for lunch, and I'm going to have some triple cheese mac and some liquid nutrient. This one is 1/3 cup of boiling water. Cover and let stand to 8 to 10 minutes. It's a good thing I've got my insulated koozie. Well, my triple cheese mac is in the koozie for 8 to 10 minutes. And I opened up my liquid nutrient and look, I got 2. So I'm going to enjoy the lemon lime with my lunch. And it takes 12 to 14 ounces of water. Well, we'll see if lunch is as good as breakfast was. Try my lemon lime nutrient drink, nutrient liquid. Now, stirring this up, I had to stir it for quite a long time before it would dissolve. So if you have a regular water bottle, just like you can get at the grocery store, and put it in there and shake it up, it'll probably do a lot better than in this cup. Skål. There is no sugar in this. If there is, I can't taste it. It's a little salty. I get more lime than I do lemon. It's pretty refreshing though. You know, when you get so used to drinking the commercial produced isotonic beverages and electrolyte beverages, you just sort of get used to all the extra sugar and everything else in it. And this is pretty good. Yeah, there's other isotonic beverages that I've had that I probably like better, but yeah, I can live with this, especially since it's actually so much better for me. Now let's try this triple cheese mac. Gotta be careful, don't want to spill any of it. Ooh, that is quite soupy. And I was pretty accurate with my measurement, or at least I think. Which the soupiness doesn't bother me at all because it makes it easier to clean up. Okay, here we go. The pasta, or the noodles, remind me of spätzle. A couple little crunchies in there. May not have reconstituted all the way, but it was in there for well more than 10 minutes. But again, an insulated container, because this is warm. It's not piping hot. You're seeing steam coming off of it because, I mean, it's pretty chilly. The sun makes it feel much warmer than what the air temperature is. The flavor's good. I would like to try this again with less water, and I think that the cheese flavor would probably come through a lot more. Oh yeah, just drinking the broth, you really get a lot more of that cheese flavor. The next meal, I will make certain I put less water than what it calls for. But I would definitely be happy with eating this on the trail. No problem whatsoever. I've had several freeze-dried meals that a couple bites was all I could get in. They tasted horrible. The texture was horrible. And there was a lot of them out on the market, especially the ones that are really pushing for the survival thing. And you get great big buckets full of them. Most of the ones that I've had like that are the ones that the texture is off-putting. The flavor is not great or good sometimes, and they have varying degrees of ability to reconstitute completely as well. But I've had a lot better mac and cheese, but I know if everything on the package is correct, I have never had more nutritious mac and cheese. Finish this off, and I'll see you with, I guess, supper. Well, it's supper time, and tonight I'm having hearty lasagna with the fruit punch nutrient liquid, and for dessert, a creamy chocolate shake. Now this time I used a little less water in my nutrient liquid. It's more bold flavor, but again, it's almost completely devoid of any sweetness whatsoever. And I don't know, I think I like the lemon lime better. But this one did actually dissolve faster and easier. Now, time to try that lasagna. Now, I put precisely half a cup of water in this. And it looks like lasagna is supposed to look. It's thick. So it's not lasagna soup like my mac and cheese was. Mac and cheese soup. Smells good. It feels like it's not completely reconstituted. It's pasty. The flavor's okay. A very odd texture with the noodles. Very, very, very tomatoey. And the seasonings that are in it, excellent lasagna seasonings. Really, come to think of it, real lasagna has a little bit of a tooth to the pasta as well. I mean, it's just, not everything's a mountain house texture. So that's the one thing I'm sort of getting, because this is supposed to be like a freeze-dried meal, right? It's a firmness to the pasta, not a pastiness, because it holds together as I chew it. So my vocabulary weren't good. That needs to be more gooder. No, I think the texture is exactly the way it should be. Even though I might have put a little too much water with the mac and cheese, this is probably my favorite actual meal I've had yet. And I believe I've had all of them but one. And I'll let you know what that is when I make my milkshake. I'll go ahead and finish this up. Then I'll make my milkshake, and that'll pretty much wrap this video up. Okay. I've got my milkshake powder. I'm supposed to mix this with either 8 ounces of milk or water. Don't have any milk, so I'm going to be using water. Now, I'm very, very cautious, or apprehensive, I should say, as to how this is going to reconstitute with water. Now, let's look at that. That, to me, looks like a science experiment gone wrong. So, time to start stirring. Now, the beverage powders that I had, they did not want to dissolve. And it took a lot of stirring to get that done. And definitely, this looks like this is going to be the most difficult thing to clean up, too. Sounds gritty. It's globbing up. Sticking to the sides, everything. I'll just keep stirring until it gets reconstituted. Well, while I'm stirring, before I taste it, I really appreciate Wendel for giving me samples of all those meals, and those aren't sample sizes. Those are the actual sizes of the meals as you would purchase them. And the whole idea is you're eating less filler and getting higher nutrition so you don't feel bloated. I know I can barely eat an entire Mountain House meal with the old servings. The 2-cup servings where you had to put 2 cups of boiling water in those, I could barely eat one. And when I did, it was horrible. I felt like I had a bowling ball in my gut. And, so I started splitting them in half. after a while, or I would share a meal with somebody as long as they like the same meal. And that worked out real well. So the idea behind having a smaller serving is pretty good. Didn't work out for me for breakfast because I was still hungry. But after I ate the oatmeal, I was more than satisfied as far as the amount of food I had in my body. Oh, that doesn't look too bad. There's still a few more lumps in there. But we're going to go ahead and give this a taste. Now, the unreconstituted globules. That's dark chocolate. Those were intense. But it's hard to get some of the liquid out, all of the globules. If you like bitter or dark chocolate, this might be something you'd like. I know this has like a lot of nutrients and it's supposed to be really healthy for you, but ooh, I don't know. This is definitely not my cup of tea. This is the only thing that I didn't actually like, at least a little bit. So maybe it would be better. Ooh, maybe it would be better with milk or with a blender and milk. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to finish this. So for the most part, I liked the idea behind it. I liked the flavor of most of the things. And I think if I were to get them in the future and I were to make certain that I had exactly precisely the right amount of water, like I did with the lasagna, I think they would have turned out much better. And if nutrition and not feeling bloated were my two most important concerns as far as my backpacking, wild camping, and bushcrafting food consumption goes, I would definitely buy those. If everything that's in their advertising, on their website, and on their packaging is correct, there's nothing out there that is as nutritious as these things. And it looks to be like a new company, so I'm certain they're going to be tweaking a lot of things. They're probably going to change some of their original products and replace them with other products as they create better ones. Hopefully the milkshake. And I wish them all the success in the world, but I really enjoyed doing like the taste test of all those meals today. And again, thank you, Wendell, for giving me those. And it was fun. It was just fun. And because I had to do this for a video, I made certain that I took time to eat at particular times. Because a lot of times I'll go like the entire day and realize, oh, I forgot to eat. And that's not good. It never turns out good. Well, like I said, this was fun. Well, folks, as always, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Howdy, folks. Welcome back to Boondockery. Off on a little wild camp, and while I was out, I planned on doing something. Howdy, folks. Welcome back to Boondockery. In October, I went to the Central Ohio Bushcraft Gathering at, where was it? Howdy, folks, and good morning. Welcome back to Boondockery. I'm off on a little wild camp. And I got a few videos that I want to shoot while I'm out here this weekend, and one of which is focused around some items I picked up when I was at the Central Ohio Bushcraft Gathering. And while I was there, I visited. Now that was actually very, very good. All of the meaty bits, the eggs and everything else like that, had a nice mouthfeel to them. They didn't, feel squishy or anything else like that. Probably put a little too much water in it, so it was a little more on the my triple cheese mac is in the koozie, sitting to 8 to 12 minutes. Now, I got my milkshake here, and it says to use 8 ounces, which is 1 cup of milk or water. I forgot to bring my milk cows, so all I have